Sup YouTube, welcome back to another video documenting my journey to legend. Consider subscribing and leave a like if you enjoy the video. This week, love it or hate it, it's here. Master League and Little Cup, choose your poison to climb. In my case, I decided to try the Open Master League for the first time in my GBL career. Rockin' Mons for the Master Premier Cup. I saw this team featured on Yasser Elite's channel. It was being run by Pokemongo. Definitely go check out that video because that video is fire. But this is where I got the team idea from. And I figured if I'm gonna do the Open Master League, then I'm gonna rock Pokemon that I want to use. And that's exactly what this video is about. I had about a 60% win ratio with this team. A lot of misplays on my part, and also just not knowing how to really use this team in the Open Master League. Again, I've never played it before. Before I get started with the battles, I want to give a massive shout out to Kyle, aka Tepic. Thank you for your support on the channel, man. It really, really means a lot. Without further delay, let's get into these battles. So as you can see, I am rocking Dragonite, Double Steel, right? Your typical team in the Master Premier Cup, but not necessarily in the Open Master League. But I saw this team play to great success. I had some mild success with it of my own. Before people start commenting or get upset in the comments, no, I didn't purify my Metagross. This is a traded purified. So somebody purified it, but they had like 5 shinies. So, you know, massive, massive luck. I managed to catch a Dragon Claw on this Dragonite. I farmed 1 over the Dragon Claw, I believe. And my Metagross is best buddied, and it comes in clutch because it's the only non-hundo on this team, and it does suffer some matchup losses because of that. I wish I had the 15, 14, 15, but you know, we make do. Also, before I keep going on with this commentating, I want to give a massive shout out. I don't think he watches the channel. I don't think he knows who I am, but to Swag Tips, he's the one that got me the links for these high quality gifts, and they look so much better. So massive, massive thank you to him. Here, I misplayed this. What I should have done up until this point was I should have let this go, right? I mean, there's no need for them to bait, so maybe you could argue that I should have shielded, but I shouldn't have thrown this move. Yes, I win CMP, but now the Dragonite could just come in and farm me down. So what I should have done was either shield that first move, over farm to the back-to-back, throw a move to knock it out, possibly throw the Rock Slide, because at that point it might have been enough, and then, you know, hope that they catch. But I misplayed that game. This is another game that I left in because I misplay it. This is a common team, but I'm not used to it because I don't play Open Master League. It's Mewtwo with Dialga and Kyogre in the back. And obviously I'm Double Steel, so I need to bait out the Kyogre with the Metagross. But again, I was still new to the team. I wasn't sure what I should do in the lead. And they go down 1 shield, and I come in with my Excadrill. And I'm just gonna full send the drill run. And at this point, I haven't committed an error just yet, right? I'm still okay. I'm gonna shield the potential Draco. They bait, which is awful. But then here I stay in way too long. I should have just came in immediately with Metagross. I probably would have lost, but I could have landed an EQ, came back in with the Excadrill, right? Because they would have taken me out and farmed up to enough energy to get to another drill run against the Dialga. But here they're gonna farm me down, and it's GG's. Oh, what it does. So I learned my mistake there pretty quickly. So yeah, if you see a Mewtwo lead, there's more likely than not a Kyogre in the back, and you want to bait that out. This is a pretty favorable lead. What I learned in the video was just tank the Shadow Ball. There's no need to shield it. They bait, so that's even great for me. I throw in between their Shadow Claw, and I'm going to get some damage off, and then they come in with Zacian, and this is exactly why Metagross is here. Watashi ga kita! He's going to see to it that this Zacian doesn't make it out of here alive. I farm to just before they get to their next move. I didn't know who won CMP, and I didn't want to risk it. I think Zacian wins. I could be wrong. Please correct me in the comments if I am. Luckily for me, my opponent throws. They should have farmed me all the way down. Or actually, we would have outpaced. I didn't realize how low they were, my bad. And I make a mistake there by waiting the switch timer out. I should have came in right away knowing they were energy dry and farmed down the Giratina. The Giratina. And here I am. Do I call it bait? I think I call it bait. I called a damn bait. I figured I would probably be okay even if they focus blasted, which is probably accurate. But luckily for me, they do bait, and I'm able to get off a copious amount of rock slides off on this thing. The bacon bird. I like that bird. I don't have an Yveltal of my own. Unfortunately, let me catch my move. Which isn't really a catch. They're still right there. Right there. They're getting to the back-to-back right there. So they were still a ways away from the move. So we take that game. But perfect catch. Excellent catch. Probably one of their only win cons. This is a great lead for us. I didn't know what to do with Mewtwo, but I figured that they would try to CMP on the Dragon Claw, and I just got lucky and I caught. And here I am gonna farm, and I think they let me get to a move. Or maybe they were looking to CMP, but they went one over my Meteor Mash, so I didn't get why they were doing that. Here I should have overfarmed, but I also didn't want to take a Side Strike, which may have been a mistake. I throw on proper timing here, I believe. I think I either did 4, which would allow like 3 turns of damage in. And here I just throw. I was trying to force them to throw, but you know, they're smart. Again, I don't need to shield on the Dragonite, right? That's exactly why I'm not too concerned about getting all farmed all the way down, but they bait. And now because they threw an extra Incinerate, I do 4 Dragon Breaths, then throw my Dragon Claw, and they shield. And at this point, Dragonite has done its job. If they Brave Bird, I'm hoping I can farm them down, and I think they get Wise, and they bring in Dialga, and this is GG's. If they save the shield for the Ho-Oh, obviously, I don't know if I haven't mentioned this yet, but I am rocking an underleveled Excadrill because I didn't have the XLs for it when I was powering up this team. Because of that, I didn't undercharge the Drill Run. But again, we're at the back-to-back, so that's perfect. There is another matchup where my Drill Run did a little more damage, so I think maybe the Dialga I faced was underpowered. And then this is a perfect example of somebody else running a Master Premier team in the Open Master, but also of just getting hard countered. There's very, very little I can do here, and I think I play this just about as good as I can with 1 or 2 calls that I might have done differently. Here, I'm just going to farm this thing down. They correctly build up to a possible Sludge Wave. Only a madman would be running Sludge Wave, so I call that. I'm going to get hit with another Hydro. But again, we're bulkier in the Open Masters. This is level 50, which is insane. The CP difference is also insane, almost 1,000. And they have Dragonite. However, I think they swapped out immediately. So, like, they saw the Dragonite, they came in, did 1, then swapped out. Had I stayed in with the Dragonite, there's a possibility that they might have swapped into their own, which would have been insane because then I would have had alignment. I don't know if that's completely accurate, but that's how it felt while I was battling. I was like, wow, they just swapped out on a hunch. And here I didn't want to take another move, which is why I throw this off. But again, there was very, very little I could do. I think I played it to just about the best I could, except for that one call that I should have made differently. And we died with a shield, but honestly, like, it didn't matter at that point. Here I make a grievous error. I don't know why I did this. I'm an idiot. I CMP on 10. Like, I still survive a Rock Slide, right? So I'm not going to shield this, but I should have let the Rock Slide damage go through and then CMP'd on the second one. But I'm an idiot. And in comes the Zacian, and Metagross goes to town. You love to see it, man. I've never played the Open Masters, but I've watched so many Pokemon videos of how dominant this Pokemon is, and it feels so good to just eat this thing down. Or up, whichever way. With a awful fast move in Bullet Punch. I let this Metagross go down because it has done its job. I'm not expecting another Steel type in the back, but again, if there is one, sorry, a Fairy type, if there is one, I have my Steel type in the back. They come in with Dialga, and this is GG's. I think this is the one. Do I undercharge this a bit? No, okay, I've completely charged it, and it does maybe about the same damage. But here I'm going to shield, just in case they go for the Draco, which they do. And I am way ahead in energy, so there's no way this thing outpaces me. I have a superpower loaded, I win CMP, so this game is also pretty GG's. Coming back from an uncomfortable lead, but not impossible. Excadrill, especially in the Open Masters, or Dragonite rather, is a lot more bulky. This is another team matchup where I could have made a call or two differently, and possibly won. I'm not going to win this mid game. I'm not going to play out the 2 shields. just in case they bait. Here we CMP. I didn't realize that Excadrill won CMP, but it does make sense. And if they don't Shadow Ball me, then, you know, GG's. But they do have to throw. They can't farm me down. So that's even better for me. I wasn't planning on shielding the Excadrill. If you ever face me, just know I'm planning on shielding the Excadrill. So, you know, throw the bigger move. And here I'm able to farm them down, and my timer is up. And they're, again, a little bit too slow to the swap. And here, I should have baited. Prime time to bait. But again, you know, on the other end, if they call it, then you look like a scrub, right? And here I probably should be shielding this, but I know it's an Iron Head. And my opponent is way too smart for me, and I'm going to throw another non-bait, and they're going to non-shield again, or they are going to shield. And yeah, there's just not enough I can do with Dragonite. I'm going to try to get farm on this thing. I'll let her an Iron Head through, and yeah, there's just... I throw a Dragon Claw in a bit for science, just to see how much this would do on the Shadow. God damn, Lugia thick. Insane, man. Insane. Those what are they? Johto legendaries are really, really strong. Horrible lead, but I come into Excadrill, which is my soft counter. And what I've noticed from Zacians is they like to wait for you to throw energy before they swap out. Or force another shield. I think this one's going to make a play for switch, which is fine with me. I'm not going to shield again, right? I don't want to go down 2 shields. And I'm going to come in with Dragonite because I don't expect them to swap, and I don't want to tank anything on Metagross. And they were trying to I guess to make it to the play rough. And here I'm just going to launch a superpower and dip. And hope that Metagross has some play in the back, considering they had Zacian in the lead. And they wait just a little too long before bringing in the Bacon Bird. And because of that, I'm going to be able to outpace. I just need to make sure I throw on proper timing, which I do. 1, then throw, right? And then I will outpace 1, 2, 3, 4 to just before they reach their next Dark Pulse. And now this Dialga has to Draco me to take me out. They can't go for the Iron Head. But because I didn't know how much energy they had, I wasn't really trying to make a catch. I just didn't want to die with the Earthquake because I knew that they would have to throw on the Dragonite either way to take me out, or I would get to a superpower. And because they Draco me, I guess they knew the game was done. So, you know, the disrespectful Draco on the 10% health Dragonite, which is beautiful. This is exactly where you want to see this thing. They swap in a Dialga. I have the Excadrill. Go Exca! He wanted to call him Escavalier, but he's the little mole, you know, little mole rat. Look at him. He's so cute and ugly at the same time. It's a conundrum that he lives with every day. And I overfarm, or I think I undercharged that one. But I farmed enough that where I would be able to get 2 drill runs off. And this is like the most I could ask for, especially if they don't shield, which they don't. And then here, this is why I left this in. Not because it was a dominant matchup, but because I make a stupid play. Why are you doing this, my guy? Why do you do this to yourself? Why? You got your wins, you got potential, and then you just throw it all down the drain. You take a massive shit on your gameplay. Why? I figured at that health range, Metagross would probably be able to take care of Kyogre. But again, you shouldn't be swapping out, man. You shouldn't, just stay in. You could have done so much more damage with Metagross, had a full health Dragonite. But no, I mean, you make a nice catch here, which probably is something, you know? And I'm going to shield this up because I believe it does more than a Surf. It does do more than a Surf. I don't know why I said I believe. But yeah, we tank this Surf, which is also respectable damage, and I can farm this thing down. And I don't need to throw a move. Throwing a move is possibly my lose con. So I just farm that thing down before it gets to another move. Dialga. Superpower, then dip. We let off some steam with a superpower. You go straight forward because you outpace based on the Iron Head. And then you, if they don't shield, come in with Metagross because you absorb the damage a lot better. If they do shield, come in with Excadrill. At least that's what I was told. So I haven't played out the second part yet, but I did come into Metagross and it was a pretty good matchup for me considering they're running Dragon Tail Groudon. Because they shield, I'm suspecting that there is a Kyogre in the back, which makes me a little bit nervous. And you're gonna see how this game plays out, right? Dragonite into Dialga isn't the best matchup. It's a solid matchup if they don't shield the superpower, but it's not the best matchup, especially if you're running an ABB line and you need to bait out something that your back mons are weak to. I tank a Fire Punch, then I bring in the Exca, and there's the beautiful whale. Freaking Free Willy out here to decimate my mole rat. I do manage to get off 2 drill runs because I threw on proper timing. And now my opponent is going to commit to fast move damage only. And here you're going to see they gave me a win con. Had I done the 2 Dragon Breaths with the new move mechanic, I would have taken out this Groudon. Ah, man, I was so upset. As soon as I hit Dragon Claw, I was like, fuck, I messed up. I should have done those extra Dragon Breaths. At least one Dragon Breath. And I might have been able to take that. But you know, you live and you learn. If I encounter that situation again, I think I'll play it a lot better. Here, my opponent gave me a win con. They allowed me to farm up a decent amount of energy. And yes, they let me get off the drill run so that I wouldn't be able to farm up on the Dragonite. But all they did was give me enough time to get out of this matchup, right? So 3, 4, 5, and I'm counting. And because I know that I'll be able to CMP, if they had caught on something where this was resisted, I probably would have lost. But they went for the CMP to get off this flamethrower. And now I shield. I can farm down, but they don't let me. And it's GG's. I don't know what was in the back. Maybe a fellow Metagross, you know, a fellow meta enthusiast. But I wasn't entirely sure. But yeah, 60% win ratio with this team. Pokemongo, if you by any chance happen to watch this video, your team is fucking solid. I know that you said this isn't a team of your own creation, but you are the battler that I saw use this. And this team is freaking awesome, man. Nothing feels better than clapping legendaries with Pokemon that have no business being in the Open Masters. I mean, not no business. Excadrill is really, really strong, and so is Dragonite. But Metagross isn't that high up there. So yeah, Dragonite double steal, bait out those Kyogres, be better than me if you have the dust. I spent 1,000,000 dust powering these things up. Give them a try, because this team was a lot of fun. And now that I've worked out some of the kinks, I'm going to try to push this team this entire week. I might try some Little Cup, but we'll see. Submit your battles. Otherwise, this is all I'll be boring you with. I'll catch you in that next video. Peace.